Ladies and gentlemen, I feel honoured to be a guest here today, not being a member of your party, although I have voted Liberal Democrat in every election since the party was founded. Admittedly, it helps that my MP happens to be Evan Harris. I'm also aware of your party's strong and consistent record on free speech issues. For example, leading the campaign against the blasphemy law. It's been well said that blasphemy is a victimless crime. It's a lamentable observation that, because of the way our laws are skewed towards the plaintiff, London has become the libel capital of the world. Litigants are coming to England from another country to sue people who live in a third country over a book that was published in a fourth country, the excuse being that a handful of books were also sold here. A nice little round-the-world jaunt for lawyers it may be, but sensible or liberal it is not, nor is it just. Of course there must be redress if you are maliciously attacked in a way that damages you. But if such a law is cast too wide, it has disastrous consequences on the public interest, not least in the area of science and medicine, where the stakes are high, profits and reputations are guarded jealously, and the vulnerable need to be protected from unproven or fraudulent claims for cures, whether by alternative therapists or big pharmaceuticals. Because people really can be damaged by unscientific medicine. Homeopathy is obvious nonsense, and given another 2 minutes I could prove it to you. It can even be damaging if it lures patients away from seeking the best evidence-based medicine until it's too late. Yet before saying a thing like that, I have to look nervously over my shoulder, intimidated by the notorious English libel laws. That's why back in June, leading academics, publishers, journalists, performers, clinicians and scientists issued a public statement backing that courageous hero, Simon Singh. The British Chiropractors Association has sued him for criticising chiropractic claims to cure asthma and other childhood complaints. I and many of my colleagues fear that if Simon loses, it would have major implications on the freedom of scientists, researchers, and other commentators to engage in robust criticism of scientific and pseudoscientific work. It is possible in medicine, even when you intend to do good, to do harm instead. That's why science thrives on actively encouraging criticism rather than stifling it. Dr. Ben Goldacre, who writes on science in The Guardian, was bogged down for years defending, ultimately successfully, a libel claim brought in London by a German multimillionaire vitamin pill salesman who was promoting his pills as a cure for AIDS in sub-Saharan Africa. Scientists often disagree with one another, sometimes passionately, but they don't go to court to sort out their differences. They go into the lab, repeat the experiments, carefully examine the controls and the statistical analysis. We care about whether something is true, supported by the evidence. We're not interested in whether somebody sincerely believes he's right. There exist objective methods for discovering whether he is, as a matter of fact, right. If he's wrong, the evidence will show it, and notwithstanding Judge Eadie, be blowed to whether he's sincere in his error or not. If the British Chiropractic Association were really sincere, they wouldn't go into court to sue Simon Singh. They could have taken up the Guardian's offer of a right to reply. Or better, they could go into the lab and do an experiment to show him wrong. Why don't they submit their case to the higher court of scientific test? I think we all know the answer. Or will I be sued for saying that? The trouble is, it's hard to know whether you'll be sued. That's the point. Do we really want discussions on matters of science, evidence and medicine, and indeed any area of public interest, to be conducted in an atmosphere of fear and uncertainty?
Please
support the amendment.
Thank you very much indeed.